Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo and this is my forever co-host John. This week we're starting a sports lineup for sports movies. Starting with Fighting with My Family, starring Florence Pugh as WWE superstar Paige. Have you heard of the person or the movie before this? No, neither.
Because I mean, I know Paige. Like I've seen WWE from here to there, but like, I heard the name Paige, but I was like, I didn't know they were making a movie out of it.
Yeah. I was surprised because I was like, really, Paige? Not that I have anything against her, but I was like, isn't it a bit too soon because she's still alive? You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, is she dead?
You're right. Like, did I miss something?
No, but like, okay, I get why her story was kind of like told though.
Yeah.
Because like again, it's very much like The Rock, as they mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
Where she comes from a wrestling family. She started from what down there.
Yeah.
Built her way up. That's really great.
Yeah.
So I get to why.
And for me, at least, this is my first Florence Pugh movie. So after watching this, like during lockdown, I was like, I can't wait to see more of her. And then steadily on, she becomes one of the biggest stars in our lifetime. I was like, all right, cool. I knew you would make it big someday, and here you are in Dune 2 and other movies. Midsummer, of course. And like this is a classic underdog tale because, as you mentioned, she starts out like in the indie spot of wrestling, where her family are all indie stars. They're a bit famous from where they're from, North England, and I believe they made this movie based off the documentary of the same name, because they made a documentary about their family, and like you see it at the end. But you see her brother Zach, and their family. They're all famous wrestlers where they're from, and they even teach a blind teenager to wrestle. Which you question like
Yeah,
how
I love that. No, but like it's such a good scene. Like a good way of building up what these characters are.
Yeah.
Like they are a community. Like the whole just like any other martial arts practice.
Yeah.
They are a community, whether it be jiu-jitsu or professional wrestling, and they include everybody, no matter the disability. So I was like, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see.
And you see like inside baseball tips of like, yeah, we all know that wrestling is a fixed sport, but to toss yourself from the top rope is still pretty fucking dangerous.
Yeah. Like when people say, I was like, even I'm guilty for saying, because I'm not much of a
Wrestling fan.
professional wrestling
Yeah.
fan. Where we would go, that's fake. It's them throwing themselves off a ladder into the ground, like concrete floor. That's pretty real.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like sure, this isn't through their discretion. They're following the script.
Yeah.
But still, like you falling off a 3-foot height hurts. What more if on top of a ladder?
Right.
So I can't really call it fit.
Yeah,
It's scripted.
But the bones aren't scripted. Like the dad testing out like, can you take a trash can to the face? Just beats the guy. Have the bowling ball to the nuts. He's like,
it's like, alright, for sure that's Hollywood, but like, it really do it.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. For sure, the trash can thing might have been a real thing.
Yeah.
The volleyball one, that's a little too much.
I don't know. I've never seen wrestling in England, so who knows? Maybe that's their niche of like, let's see how much the male body can take. Like, no, God, I don't want to see it. But obviously, from the start of the movie, you know your dream is to make it big in the WWE because the biggest star is The Rock for this family. The Rock and like other people like Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and like other people like John Cena. And that's why they submit their tape to WWE because like that's their one shot to make it big. Because indie's nice, but like if you can make it to the big leagues, you're going to help your family and you're going to help yourself. And helping your family is important to the Knight family. And do you meet, aside from Paige, that's where you meet my favorite character, which is Hutch, played by Vince Vaughn. Like every time he does a serious role, I was like, fuck yeah.
Not even a serious, like, I mean, yes, it's a serious role, but I mean, like him as a drill sergeant in Hacksaw Ridge was super cool.
Yeah.
Him yeah, you're right. Him doing serious roles, and he just stands out. The man's witty and is
Yeah.
like shit just comes out naturally.
Yeah.
And I was like, so fucking good. I wonder if he ad-libs some of those, or like it's like he does the writing for them.
Right. And like, yeah, Paige and Zach audition, and like, Hutch is like, well, there's the end of the line. Step forward, because that means you're going to Florida with me. The rest of you
Yeah.
don't make it, and it's Zach's and Paige's dream to be in WWE. But unfortunately, it's only Paige that gets picked, and you're like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, he does give like a very general like, hey, that's just business.
Yeah.
He's not gonna make it. I just don't. But you won't. And they don't give much of an explanation of why
Yeah.
Zach won't make
Big leagues.
until like we get to the
Middle.
part.
Yeah. But it is rough for Paige because she has to say goodbye to everything she knows and go into this big world of the biggest wrestling corporation in the world. And you're like, how do you go from a small town to something that's $1 billion strong and international? They did get advice from The Rock when they're auditioning, when he's like, don't be the next me, be the first you. And you're like, fuck. You're laughing because of his fucking Mary Poppins candy ass speech.
Yeah, because like it was great at first when I heard it. I was like, yeah, that's really good. And then it just goes like the quote that he pulled out of Twitter doesn't really work right now. I'm like,
oh yeah, when they're doing the promo stuff, the
Yeah.
practice promo, like that part of wrestling always intrigues me. Of like, oh yeah, you have to do the physical stuff, what you see Paige and the other wrestlers do, but like, you have your mic skills too to work on. You're like, how the fuck do you do that?
oh god, I don't know if The Rock ad-libbed it or it was written, but him like, how do we become the next you? And he gives this whole like, it doesn't matter what, and then he
Yeah.
gets this whole like thing. And then this guy was just spitting bars. I was like, I could see why.
Right?
Like that's some next level like what do you call it? Public speaking.
Yeah. It's like me when I first started G&D. I was like, how the fuck do I do this?
Right,
And now we're pretty comfortable, I would say.
We're still there. I'm like, we're not up there yet.
We're not there, but we're
So,
pretty comfortable with ourselves, so there's that.
Yeah.
Uh,
We kind of stopped caring.
Also, when Paige was like, we were fans since you had hair, I was like, yeah, I remember that too.
It's a choice.
But no, you see how intense wrestling training is? Of like just the training itself, not the promo or just anything else, just the fact that you have to build all this muscle, build your own personality with the way you train. Of like, do I want to be stocky? Do I want to be slim? Do I want to weigh 300 pounds of muscle? Or do I just want to be the little guy that can fly everywhere across the ring? So you're like,
Yeah.
choices. All the while, Hutch has this horn of like, if you want to give up, all you have to do is press the horn. You're like, oh, that's a bit more embarrassing. Fuck.
Yeah, and you do see some like that don't cut it, some quit training, and then like, and you do. I was about to say it was like, oh, do you get this typical? Oh, she's an outsider, and then you got the blonde, bully, popular girls.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this seems like a typical sports
Yeah.
underdog like movie.
Then you go cut back to England, you just see the light and Zach's eyes just gone. You're like, fuck. I am just begging Hutch of like, why wasn't I chosen? I have what it takes. And he's like, no, you don't.
I was like, why my sister? And then you could see just Vince Paul just like, let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it, like pulling a whole Robin Williams, just like, it's not your fault. Just
Yeah.
let it go.
He's like,
And
but
you see-
I made so many promises to my girlfriend. It's like, that's a you problem, first of all, but let it go, son.
Yeah, WWE ain't the pity party, I guess.
Yeah. Like,
And,
they,
like,
because Paige has a spark, but he doesn't. You're like, fuck, that's rough to hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, ooh, I don't know. I don't know who the actor is for Zach. The dude was amazing.
Right?
Like, the quiet pain,
Yeah.
he does that very well.
Yeah. You see, like, Paige tried to teach the trainees how wrestling works when they're doing the elbow shit. To be honest, if that was me, I might make the same mistake again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Also, that's me as well, where I'm like, yo, you elbowed me. Yeah, you get a receipt. Like, first time is not bad.
Yeah.
Like, when she gets kicked in the ovaries, as she said. And I was like, okay, that's pretty bad. But
Yeah.
it's, rookie mistake. She gets elbowed in the face. Oh, she lets him go. Third time, I say slap the bitch. Even in my, like, when I did Muay Thai training, when somebody kind of made the same mistake, I give them 3 shots. Like, if they did it 3 times, I think I would have, like, at least hit them back. Like, that's what it fucking feels like. Learn from it.
Yeah.
Like, pull your punches a bit. You're not trying to hit me. We're training it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I feel like Florence Pugh's character was in the right here. But anyway.
Yeah. But like, Hutch doesn't take any of that shit. He's like, can you please fucking apologize? It's a WWE. We don't do that indie shit here.
Back home.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I do like that because he does put her in her place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it that you're coming from a wrestler's background, while then they come from a modeling background.
Yeah.
Oh, you're all in the same level here. No one knows better, no one knows less. You're all in the same playing field here.
You start equally and you end equally if you do make it. And then
Yeah.
Paige feeling left out, she just dyes her hair blonde and just tries out.
Tries to conform.
Yeah. Fuck.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was really hard to watch.
And then I was like, I never knew this part of Paige before. Because I used to watch WWE religiously. And like, I stopped probably the same time that she made her appearance. Around that time. So I was like, I never knew this part of Paige. And then like, when they hit like, the hardcore training of like, you have to run this much, you have to lift tires. I don't know how lifting tires works, but they're like, fuck.
It really builds your back. I used to do that as well. But I would say the hardest one to do is the full-on stride on sand. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've jogged or ran on sand.
It hits differently.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If you could run like an hour straight in regular like tarmac or like road, you're fine. But if it's sand, you'll probably cut it in half.
Yeah. Because it's a bit more denser than just, the regular tarmac roads. Of like, oh, I'm walking smoothly. They're just like, my feet don't feel the same for some reason. Why?
Yeah.
It's like the difference between, training underwater and training on land, where water has more resistance and you have to work a bit more to train harder. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paige reaches her limit, both physically and like mentally, because she thinks that other divas are just like talking shit when they're just like, just talking about my daughter who I'm trying to feed. That's why I'm in this fucking program. Fucking asshole.
He was like, well, you never told me. You never asked.
You never asked. You never took the time to ask. Fucking fuck you.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, she kind of had to like a whole, what do you call it? I was gonna say attitude adjustment. Then I was like, wait a minute. That's it.
I would say almost rock bottom. Talking about wrestling, rock bottom moment. I don't know what else. Hey, she's down. She's very down on her luck, to say the least. Like Vince Vaughn has to like give her the reality check of like, you say you want to be here, but do you deserve to be here? Everybody else is working their ass off, and you're just giving excuses for yourself.
Yeah.
Take a break. Come back when you have an answer.
Oh god, I remember the one like dialogue that Vince Vaughn had where he was like, "Oh, this is the scene where they explain why they didn't pick the brother.
Yeah.
The brother is the type to bring people up.
Yeah.
He does his best for the other guy to make sure he reaches the top, but he will never be there. Because when he tries a little too hard or goes out of, his box,
Yeah.
he will hurt himself.
Yeah.
And then you see like Vince Vaughn have like that shaky voice. I was like,
Yeah.
I
Right.
was talking about him.
Right. Like fuck.
Like before you even mentioned like, oh, that was me. I was like, I immediately knew. I was like, it's talking about himself here.
Yeah.
This is the guy who made somebody look great at the expense of his career
Yeah.
and his dream.
So Vince Vaughn and Zach, they're basically like wrestlers who just come out every week to make, again, the megastars look good. Like they see that in Paige, but Paige doesn't see that in herself. She sees that in her brother. But her brother, according to WWE, is just gonna be a mid-carder for the rest of his career. and he won't
Yeah.
find fulfillment. His wife would probably leave him, and he'll just be lonely, thousands of miles away from his home. And you're like, fuck, for Hutch.
And like, he just wants his kid to like talk to him. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want a movie about Hutch.
Right? And then Paige goes back to England, but her family's already like, we're making dolls out of you and postcards. We're even running a sweatshop, making production. You're like, fuck.
I love that. It's like, no, but in sweatshops they get paid. And Hush, no rest for you.
The actor for the dad is just amazing. I forgot his name, but he's cool. Yeah.
Cross is great.
Before going back a bit, like when they meet the normal parents and they're like, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. I got hit in the dick. You're like, fuck.
Oh, sorry. Penis.
I forgot the actor's name. Steven Merchant, who's also the director. He's the guy from Logan, the mutant who's allergic to the sun, apparently.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he the for this one?
Yeah. He's also
yeah.
in Jojo Rabbit as the SS guy.
Yeah.
You're like, he's funny, but the SS is pretty terrifying. Why am I laughing at the scene? But no, going back to fighting with my family, she tells Zach, like, I'm going to tell our parents that I'm going to quit WWE, and he's just like, huh. Alright, if that's the way you want to play. And then they have this big, I guess, main event show where he's supposed to lose, but he's like, fuck that. If you don't want my dream, I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of you, apparently.
Yeah. Uncalled for, but I get the message. You know?
Like, you didn't have to do a
I don't think it's
backbreaker.
worth breaking your sister's spine.
Right? Like, please stop slamming your sister down to the ground. I guess I get it, you're mad, but Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, like that's a tombstone. That snaps neck. Please
Right.
don't do that.
Right?
I do like the wrestling scenes here because it like, yes, we know they're scripted,
Yeah.
but this movie did a good job dividing, like, it made it feel like it's not.
Yeah.
scripted. Like, it seemed like, oh, like when she was fighting AJ.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, this was that written down? Like, was she supposed to win?
Right?
No.
You never know. And like you're like, yeah, it's a movie, and they're all scripted, but like that's the best part of movies when you're like, I know the outcome, but do you still win? It's the same
Yeah.
with like Oppenheimer of like, does he make the bomb? Does he drop it?
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah.
But I guess this is what WWE feels like to
Yeah.
the people who are like huge fans. Where, sure, we know it's not like a boxing match where we don't know the outcome, or we fully know the outcome, but it grips you, keeps you on the edge of your seat, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So that's good. I like that.
I do like the part where they're looking for Zach, and like the dad's like, you're not leaving WWE. This is for our family. You're doing this for the family. And the mom's like, you know what? If we're going to be that way, I want you to go back to thieving, because at least you'll still have a family. Because at this point, we probably won't have one. You're like, fuck. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Such a... Like, you've seen underdog stories like this, but this one kind of hits hard of like, Jesus Christ. They didn't have to go so hard on this classic underdog tale type story. Why?
I do like it that yeah, sure, they're supporting characters, but they stand out so much.
Yeah.
Like, sure, Zach is probably the most normal looking one from that family, but he stands out when it comes to like heavy scenes. While Nick
Yeah.
Ross is good with comedy. Even the actress for Cersei, I forgot her name is
Lena Headey.
Lena Headey, did an amazing. I didn't even know it was her until I got a good close up. I was like, oh.
Right? Me too. I was like, where did they get this? Oh, fuck. Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, by the way, speaking of like shocking performance, I don't know if Nick Frost and Lena Headey did the stunts for this one, but kudos to them if they did.
Yeah.
But Florence Pugh and the actor for
Zach.
holy shit! Like, if that was them, good fucking job. For sure, you did a shit ton of training for that one.
Yeah. I love the speech of Paige being like, telling Zach, like, just because your dream died doesn't mean you have to stop living. Jesus Christ, you're teaching a blind guy how to wrestle. How does that even work? Like, you're inspiring these people to be more than what they have. Why is that so bad? Than not being in a WWE? What the fuck is wrong with you? And on the flip side, he's like, why are you giving up on the dream that I wanted it. Like, I lost, but it was your dream too. Why are you giving up on it? I don't get that.
And like, I do love that one. Just because 20,000 people are cheering your name doesn't mean it's not important, or it doesn't mean something.
Yeah.
Such a good. That's a good line.
Yeah. And it's a nice sibling moment, and you're like, I think they're in good terms. I haven't heard anything in the news. But no.
But then again, like, you do see she does see Hutch in it, like, in her brother. Sorry, she does see her brother in Hutch now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so there's a newfound respect there. Hutch is not just the asshole coach with like a very, witty comebacks and all that shit.
Yeah. And then she does go back to the training center, and he's like, "Are you gonna prove you deserve to be here?" She's like, "Yeah." Like, oh fuck.
And dyed her hair back to black.
Yeah.
Thank God.
The part that also got me is when the brothers release, and he's like, "Can't believe Paige is in WWE because she had something that I never had." And Zach's like, "What? It's you." You're like, "Oh, that's cool."
And that's when Zach had like his epiphany. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to be there for the kids as well. And
Yeah.
he goes back, and there's that kid with the drug dealer friends.
Yeah.
Goes back to the gang, gets that blood. I love that scene though. I like it when they pick up the blanket.
Yeah.
Because it like hears like the truck coming, and like the moments where Zach was like rock bottom, he would hear a van. He was like, and it's not them. I was like, that broke my heart.
Yeah. Also when
and then he hears the van come on, like,
And then I do like the technique of like helping him, like when he's on the top rope, and he's like, "Can you make sure that he knows you're behind him so he doesn't fling himself into nothing, please?"
Yeah.
And he does it pretty well. You're like, Jesus Christ, that's a pretty good move.
Yeah.
And
it's not just Hollywood. That kid who's blind is a wrestler.
Yeah, professional wrestler. Paige does form a relationship with the other divas. Like their bond goes stronger. Like the one diva who's about to give up is like, if you press that horn, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. It's like, fuck, fine.
The biggest receipt of your life. I'm like, oh shit.
I think that was the diva who the promo was, "I'm something something something, and I'm gonna blow you," or like, "Excuse me."
It was like, I'm a fire truck and I'm gonna blow you with water.
It's like, can you please just say it in one sentence? My 10-year-old just asked me questions I don't want to answer. I do like the mechanics of her teaching the diva that she gave a receipt to the way to do, what do you call that, a suicide dive. I was like, oh, so that's how you work the crowd and do it.
I don't like that.
Right?
I really don't. I don't like going headfirst into something.
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think my coordination could do that either.
Yeah, like physically that scares me, emotionally as well when it comes to scenarios.
Yeah. Like when she stopped midway through, I was like, please don't do that in real life, you might snap your neck.
Yeah. But it was a good scene. And like you see them, like they're on the floor and they're like, oh, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't think that you would look like after a suicide dive.
Right,
but, okay.
You might be like, fuck, I survived that.
If that was me, I'll be like,
Well, like, for a treat for training so hard, Hutch is like, I'm gonna bring you to WrestleMania, and they're like, oh, fuck, it's the big show. Not literal big show. Again, there's fucking buttons. But you do see him, eventually.
Oh, it was a pun. Yeah, because he was with Sheamus.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like their diet, and I'm like, they're human.
Fucking Florence Pugh next to Sheamus and Big Show, like, Jesus Christ. These guys are huge.
Yeah, Big Show's 7 footer, isn't he?
I think, yeah.
Or like 6'8", 6'7"?
Yeah.
I forgot. But like, dude, seeing Big Show now, I was like, shit, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. I think he's like Tom Cruise's age and he still wrestles. You're like, fuck. I wish I could be that active in life.
Nah. Like, once I hit 70, for sure, my body wouldn't regret it.
Right. But Paige is there for another reason, and then The Rock meets her after doing his WrestleMania stuff. He's like, he calls up the family. He's like, this is The Rock. That's like, yeah, I'm Vin Diesel. He's like, I certainly hope not.
I hope not. That's where we were like,
yeah, you're like,
I forgot they hate each other.
Right? And then he does this Rock shit, and he's like, the dad's like, yeah, bite me. hangs up the phone. Paige is like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and he's like, Dad, it's really him. He's just like, oh, Rock, sir.
Mr. Rock, sir, what do you want? He's like, I'm here to tell you that the next night Paige will have her first match, and it's for the women's championship. Like, fuck, high stakes. All right, here we go.
And then like, it's such a good scene where they leave the room,
Yeah,
and then Rock sees Hutch, and they're like, he was like, oh, that guy threw himself off a cage to make me look good. So they're talking about that guy. The guy he made famous is The Rock.
yeah.
And I was like, and then becomes sexting. And
She
I was
makes
like,
people
why
famous.
Yeah. And then kind of made you wonder. When Zach goes, can I talk to somebody higher up? That's higher up.
Yeah, the buck
Yeah.
stuff's there. Like, you don't go any higher up than this,
Yeah.
unless you
So,
somehow talk to Mr. McMahon, which will never happen for someone like you.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of nice to see that Hutch is actually okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, if The Rock trusts the guy, he must have some connections or value of why he's one of the most trusted trainers in the world of wrestling.
Yeah. I wonder if he's a real person.
Yeah, the movie didn't really say if he existed or not, or if they just made him for this movie. Who knows? But, like, of course, since it's Paige's first match and it's for a championship, she's just like, I don't think I can do this. And Zach's like, you do. Wrestling's like hepatitis. You have all of it in your blood. She's like, fuck, you're right.
A, B, and C.
And then Hutch is like, can you please? You're out. We can't pause. This is live TV. I know you're getting a pep talk, but fuck.
I love that. She was like, give me a minute. It was like, it's live television.
What do you mean a minute? And then she walks. She's like, come on, we're going to be late. He's like, alright. You want? Fuck it.
I also wonder if this was real.
The match?
Yeah.
Yes, it is real. I remember seeing this match.
Okay.
The only...
It's like... No, because, like, right, you saw the scene where she, like, comes up into the stage and then she kind of just chokes.
Yeah.
And you're like, did that happen in real life? Where she just stood there quiet with a mic and then...
I forgot if
AJ...
she was quiet, but I do remember the slap of being like, oh fuck, I guess we're on.
Yeah, like, was she really nervous that time? And then AJ kind of had to, like, reciprocate and get the crowd riled up.
Yeah. Like
she just started to fight. Knew that she choked.
Yeah, I don't... If you're a WWE fan watching this, like, you know that the actress who portrayed AJ Lee did the lines verbatim. Like, I remember her saying that years ago, and then watching this movie, I was like, fuck. Again, it's verbatim of how this match went down. And it goes exactly how it does in real life. Like, I remember all of this.
Yeah. Again, mad respect to Florence Pugh and AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Doing an amazing job when it comes to the choreography.
Yeah. Like, them just throwing each other against the ropes and to the floor. Like, mad respect if you're an actor doing your own stunts, and again, mad respect if you're a wrestler doing these things that could end very badly for you. But here we are. And, like, if you know how it goes down, you know that Paige is the youngest women's women's champion. But I don't know about how you find how the story ended. Did you like how the way this match went?
I thought he was gonna lose because I never saw the fight, so I thought she was like, she got into WWE, lost, but made an impact. That's what I thought. Because
yeah,
on your first fight, you win the Women's World Championship. It's a little fast,
right?
but I guess that's how it went in real life. So it's like, all right, let me.
Yeah, that's the thing with like movies. If like we've mentioned, like people training for a fight or something. Like if they go into something with barely any training, you're like, how the fuck do you earn that? That's a cheat.
Yeah.
But like with wrestling, you're like, all right, that's scripted. But how you get from A to Z is based on how you perform and how the script goes down for wrestling. So it kind of justifies it. Of like, of course he wins because she turns babyface in this moment. Sure.
Yeah.
But it's a very touching moment seeing their family just react to it and seeing even the dad start to cry. You're like, oh, that's a touching moment.
Even the parents of like the girl
Mhm.
that Zach's dating, kind of got into the wrestling thing as well.
Yeah. And the last shot is pretty nice with Paige celebrating, and then you go see the picture of both Zack and Paige holding their respective championships. It's a pretty good ending.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good feel-good movie too, of like everything wraps up in a nice bow, and like if you want to see the continuation of the story, you just have to watch WWE's backlog, I guess.
Yeah, I do like it. Like, I do appreciate wrestling. I'm not into professional wrestling, not yet. Maybe, I don't know if I ever will. But I have a new found respect for it. Like, this is the shit that they have to go through all the fucking time, just like any other sport.
Yeah.
And if you say, sure, it's scripted, but they are athletes.
Yeah. Like they build. They build their body.
Different.
Yeah. Exactly. So what would you rate Fighting with My Family?
No, I had a really good time, and not a lot of. I don't have a lot of gripes with it because it was pretty good the whole way. I would say it was a little rushed at the end, but that's pretty much it. I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. Like, it is a really fun movie to watch, especially if you're a wrestling fan. But for me, I'm not a wrestling fan, and I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And it does open your eyes into like how much wrestlers sacrifice.
Yeah.
To get in, even like this movie did a good job with like how WWE wrestlers get into WWE, and how important indie wrestling
is.
Was this? Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to like, up and coming wrestling.
Yeah.
So they do shine a light on that as well, especially with the brother. Like, yeah, you see how important he was to creating a system.
Yeah.
Like, into the person she is. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah. Yeah, no gripes. I also give this a 9 out of 10. I really do like this. Maybe I'm kind of biased because I did like WWE for a time, but like it's just a really good feel-good movie, and like it's a very inspiring underdog tale. Like anybody, if you work hard enough for your dreams, you can reach them. It just depends on how hard you work for them. That's basically life in general.
Well, there's also a lesson where like if you don't reach your dreams, the things that you are good at still matter.
Yeah, and they're still pretty valid.
Yeah, in the case of Zack.
Yeah, life doesn't end when people say no. It just continues another way. But I have a question for you. Of the wrestlers you know, which one would you like to see have their own biopic?
We're already getting one with The Rock. Oddly enough, like, I do love seeing Undertaker tasting wine. I would love to see like an Undertaker biopic, or maybe a John Cena biopic. Because So Shen-woo being chilling.
I saw this fan cast and I can't get it out of my head. I would like to see Pedro Pascal as Eddie Guerrero one of these days.
Oh,
right?
Because that is a good one. Like, sure, I wasn't a big WWE fan, but I was there when Eddie Guerrero was big.
Yeah.
Or rest in peace, right?
Yeah, they're also making a Hulk Hogan biopic with Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. I still hope that's continuing because they said it's like almost like a Joker story of like, what the fuck does that mean?
You just see Hulk Hogan just dancing in a bathhouse.
Yeah. I mean, he is pretty controversial too because of his views.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. But yeah, I can't wait to see future biopics. Hopefully they're good as this one. But yeah, that's been our video on Fighting with My Family. Who's your favorite wrestler from either WWE or AEW? I almost said ANW. Whoopsie. But yeah, whoever it is, please comment down below. If you want to see more of us, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. We also react to trailers there. Spotify to hear us on the go. Here we go again with the socials. I don't have any socials, to be honest, except for Facebook. Please don't add me if you find me. What? Where can they find you?
I don't know. You can find me at JohnG on Instagram. But this one I got used to it. Thank you.
There we go. And until the next sports video, we'll see you there. Bye, guys.
Ciao.